Hey, Captain. Welcome to Captain Finance, where we empower you to captain your finance. All right, so just getting started. Awesome. So in this video, I just want to take you through how I'm creating cash flows. Now, this period of time has been really scary for myself, for you, I'm very sure, because this crisis is taking out everything from jobs to cash flows for people to probably even where you buy food. And it's not fun. Um, so we know this crisis is going to end. And when it ends, life should get back to normal, if not better. So I'm just showing you how I'm planning to make my life better. We have a lot of lemons from life right now, but let's make lemonade at least. Okay. I'm not very sure. Okay, there it is. Awesome. So, how am I planning to make lemonade? So, the first ingredient is know where I am financially. Now, that's a very important step. You can't go for any trip, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything if you don't know what the first step is, if you don't know where you are presently. So, that's the first ingredient. The second one is choosing whether to increase um, income, reduce expenses, or do a combination of both. So there are only two ways to figure out finances: reduce expenses, save more; increase income, save more; or do a combination of both, save more. So for me, I've chosen not to reduce my lifestyle, but to increase my sources of income. And that's part of what this video is about. And then, so if you've chosen to increase your income in either combination, you need to choose an asset class. And we'll get into what an asset class is. But first, let's recap where I am financially. So I'm at a stage called stage zero. This is usually called, what's it called? It's called dependency. And the reason it's called dependency is because income minus expenses is usually a negative number. So being a negative number, it means either someone else is coming to finance the difference, or I'm not paying some of the expenses that I have to at least match my income, or taking on more debt to be able to cover the expenses. So I've decided not to get into more debt, or rather not get into bad debt, which is debt I take to consume. I'm very open to good debt, which is debt I'm taking to put into a project that cash flows. So once we know this, what does my adult report card look like? Now, all of us have this report card, but we're not made aware. We're told about mole concept, we're told about stalagmite and stalactite, but we're not told about how do you handle your finances. So this is a very simple breakdown. You can also do it with a pen and a paper. The first one is an income statement. It shows you how much money comes into your household and how much money goes out. And it can get into specifics where it goes. So first thing is, we were told income is typically from a salo, but we want broken down that there are three types of income. There's earned income, which is your exchanging type for money. That's what I presently do. And then there's portfolio income. This is from paper assets. It can be dividends. Um, it can be capital gains from stocks. It can be interest from loans you've given out or whatever. The idea is it comes from assets that are not exactly tangible. And then there's leveraged income. This comes from a business or real estate. Now, in terms of expenses, as an employee, my taxes are cut before I even see my salary. And what is left is what I use to pay my home expenses and my loans. So my income minus my expenses presently is a negative number. And that's what I want to change. So assets. The next thing is the cash flow statement. The cash flow statement is what houses your assets. Now, for the sake of my channel and you and I moving forward, an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. Do not go more complicated than that, because the more complex you get, the less you understand anything and you're able to define this as an asset or this as a liability. So a liability takes money out of your pocket. So just categorize things in your life. That way it'll be a lot easier to figure out what to do next. So there are only 4 asset classes in the world. There's business, real estate, paper assets, and commodities. I'm looking down because I'm using the slides. So in terms of business, you're either offering a service or a product. In terms of real estate, you're doing it for rental. Paper assets, we have stocks, bonds, unit trust, cryptocurrencies, and the like. And commodities, we have gold, eggs, oil, land, all these things. So for me, I've chosen to start at paper assets. The reason I've chosen to start at paper assets, first of all, is low barrier to entry. It's 10,000 bob or 5,000 bob, and I'm in, and I'm able to generate an extra income. Aside from that, I've spent the last 8 years of my life gaining and losing in Forex trading. So it's a field I have specialized knowledge in. But I'll get more into that later on. So when it comes to the cash flow statement, instead of measuring the net worth, which is asset minus liabilities, my only problem with measuring net worth is I can't pay my rent with net worth. So if I can't pay my rent with that, then there's no point of measuring it in this sense. It's good to know. It's fancy to tell people I'm worth 5 million, 10 million, 50 million, 100 million. But if you can't pay shit with it, unless you sell shit, unless you sell stuff, there's no point. So net wealth is a better measurement because net wealth measures the cash flows from your assets minus the cash outlay from your liabilities. And you see, I put the lifestyle as part of the expenses. So a good number would be my assets, what they cash flow, minus my liabilities is equals to a 0 number or better or greater. That means my cash flows from my assets can match at least a month worth of my expenses. So wealth is measured in time, unlike net worth, which is measured in money. And all it means is how many months moving forward can your household sustain its current lifestyle without anyone in your house needing to work. So how am I choosing my first asset class? I've told you it's paper assets, mainly because low barrier to entry, and I have specialized knowledge in it. I've spent the last 8 years in the financial sector, and mostly I've been focused on a personal level on Forex. I have a lot of interest in it. I put in a lot of time. When I get home, I put in that time. When it's the weekend, like example, now I put in time in studying that. And it gives me the best thing in the world, which is leverage. Leverage is the ability to do more with less. And the more you're able to do, the faster you will move through the financial stages. And so what are the stages? Currently, I've told you I'm at stage 0, which is dependency. It means I spend more than I make. Stage 1 is solvency, which means I spend slightly less than I make. And stage 2, which is stability, it means I spend less than I make, and I've been able to do that consistently. Now I have a month worth of my expenses saved up, just in case something happens. So these are the stages I'm going to go through in the future videos, but I just wanted you to have a look at what they are. So in your case, just let me know where in the stages that I've mentioned you are, how are your finances looking, what are your struggles, what are your pain points, and don't forget to subscribe. Whether you're using your phone or your computer, just hit the notification button and let's grow our finances together. Until I see you in the next one, have an awesome one. All right, cheers.